Nitrogen cycle. Okay. Reservoir. So where and all nitrogen can be found in this earth? Yes, the majority is in the air. Of course, even in the soil nitrogen, even in the water also we have dissolved, which is used as a nitrate that is used by the organism, aquatic organism, and even all the organism it contain. Okay, these are the sources of nitrogen we have. Can you guess what is the percentage of nitrogen in the air? What is the percentage of nitrogen in the soil, water, and organism? I don't know. That is within the air, 77% is nitrogen, 23% is oxygen. But if you take 100% of the nitrogen in this earth, how much percentage will be in the air form? How much percentage will be in the soil, water, and organism? Maybe 99, more than 99.9% is in the air form only. Because the reason is nitrogen will not react. It's an inert. Now we have to see this, how this non-reactive nitrogen comes to us in a reactive form, and again how it goes back. This is what we have to see. The first one is nitrogen fixation. Nitrogen fixation. Let us take the stage one. So comparatively, this cycle is a little complex cycle. So how the nitrogen is fixated? Even though nitrogen is non-reactive, in one condition, nitrogen can react. This is something in your atmosphere in a high temperature. So first one, it is atmospheric fixation. How in atmospheric fixation is, in the upper atmosphere, you can see a lightning can happen. In the lightning, a high temperature is induced. Am I right? So what is the temperature of a lightning? What is the sun surface temperature into 5 times is your lightning temperature? What is the sun surface temperature into 5 times is your lightning temperature? In that high temperature, maybe 30,000 degrees Celsius, the nitrogen will react with the oxygen, and then it is getting converted into usable form for the plant. What the usable form is? Nitrate. Just make note, nitrate is a usable form for the plant. So in the lightning, in the high temperature, the nitrogen will react with oxygen. The nitrogen will react with oxygen and converted into usable form for the plant. Converted into usable form for the plant. Usable form for the plant, nitrate. That is nitrate. Nitrate plant can directly use it. See, sometime it can also come out as a nitrite. See, that is, you just listen to me, the nitrogen in a high temperature, it will mix with oxygen, convert into nitrate, it gets mixed in the rainwater, then it comes on the soil, of course on the ocean or water body, so nitrogen comes, the plant takes it. Sometime this nitrogen can also, what happens is, it also can come as a nitrite. See, when it comes as a nitrite, not an issue, the soil bacteria will oxidize it and convert into nitrate. Okay, this is a stage one. That is a soil bacteria. The soil bacteria, I will tell you what is that bacteria. The soil bacteria will oxidize into nitrate. Some way the nitrate is taken by the plant. This is the one way your nitrogen can be fixed. Okay, is there any other method? Yes, we also have another method, that is biological fixation. Biological fixation. Naturally, we have some bacteria. These bacteria can take the air nitrogen, convert into usable form for the plant, and give it to the plant. This bacteria is called as a nitrogen fixing bacteria. Anyway, in the agriculture, you have to see this bacteria. Some of the bacteria are, in fact, I told you, Rhizobium, Acetobacter, Clostridium, Nostoc, Anabina, louder. Biological fixation. Okay, you can make note. Nitrogen fixing bacteria. Nitrogen fixing bacteria. Like, you can make note of this name: Rhizobium, Acetobacter, Clostridium, Nostoc, Anabina. Take the air nitrogen, convert into usable form for the plant. Take the air nitrogen, convert into usable form for the plant. Convert into usable form for the plant. Okay, this is the one way the non-reactive nitrogen can be fixed. Okay, just imagine whether this two method is sufficient for, and one important thing I want to tell in nitrogen fixing bacteria, this nitrogen fixing bacteria broadly we can divide into two types. Some bacteria will be permanently present at the roots of the plant. Yesterday we saw rhizobium, symbiotic bacteria. But most of the bacteria will be on the soil itself, which is called free living bacteria. So they take the air nitrogen, convert into usable form. Anyway, just imagine these are the two natural methods. The nitrogen is fixated. Whether this two method is sufficient for our agriculture production, 140 crore agriculture production, no. That is the reason we go for the third method. That is, let me write it here. See, industrial fixation. It is your fertilizer companies. Fertilizers. Fertilizers. Industrial fixation. It is nothing but fertilizer. They use a process. Finally, they produce the NPK. Okay, urea. That we directly apply to it. By that way, the nitrogen comes inside. They produce that ammonium. So that ammonium or urea, whatever they produce, that directly we apply to the soil so that the plant directly takes it. These are the way we get nitrogen to the plant. So two natural method, the one is atmospheric fixation and biological fixation. Apart from that, one human method, that is industrial fixation. Now the nitrogen comes to the plant. Now hereafter what the plant has to do? The plant has to take that usable form of nitrogen, convert into a, biologically synthesized into a protein form or amino acid form, organic form. So that's how the plant take it, and it's given to all the trophic level. So the next stage is, come to the next stage, biosynthesis. Biosynthesis. Okay, if you want a nitrogen, how do you get the nitrogen? So you want a protein. Either you have to consume plants, like leguminous plants like peas, pulses and all, or you have to consume a chicken or fish or something. That again, that consumes the plant only. So through plant only, it has to come to us, that nutrient. So that's how you can see the plant will take it and it will biologically synthesize, convert into an organic form, and it is given to all the trophic level. So just make note, the usable form of nitrogen, is taken by the plant, biologically synthesized into organic form, and given to all trophic levels. Given to all trophic levels. Given to all trophic levels. Okay, so that everyone, so we get it, everyone organism get it. Then next, this has to come out. That's it. So from the geological, it has come to the biological. Then again, chemically, it has to transform. It has to go back to the geological. The third stage is decomposition. Your detritus food chain will come. Again, all the organism, all the plant and animal, they die. They undergo a decomposition process. Okay, detritus food chain, DFC, -DFC. Okay, now listen here. See, when you have the dead organic matter, when they undergo decomposition, it will not come out as a nitrogen form, because the nitrogen goes inside, it comes to the plant as a nitrate form, and then it is synthesized into amino acid form. So in the decomposition, what comes out is a ammonia form. Basically, it may come out as a two form. Either it may come out as a ammonia form, or probably it may come out as a ammonium. See, when it comes as ammonium, the ammonium may enter into the soil. Again, the plant can take it. But if it comes as ammonia, all the ammonia will try to escape to the air. Okay, that is in the decomposition. Please keep in mind, it is not going to come out as a nitrogen, because the nitrogen nitrate, it comes as a nitrate, it comes as a amino acid form. So obviously, either it has to go as ammonia form or ammonium form. Okay, so just make note. In the decomposition, the dead organic matter is converted into ammonia and ammonium. Full stop. Ammonia and ammonium. The ammonium can be used by the plant. Whereas ammonia escape to the air. Okay, this is stage one. Now, if all the ammonia escapes to the air, most of the time in the decomposition, it will come out as ammonia form. If all the ammonia escape to the air, then the soil will not have much nitrogen. So that is the reason, naturally, we have a next process that is called nitrification. The next stage is nitrification. Here we have a bacteria called nitrifying bacteria. See, some of the bacteria, some two famous bacteria is Nitrosomonas, Nitrobacter. So what they do is, this Nitrosomonas, they capture that escaping ammonia, convert into a nitrite form, and then this Nitrobacter oxidize the nitrite into nitrate. So even in the very first stage, I told you, when the rainfall in the atmospheric fixation in the lightning, when they come as a nitrite, that nitrite is oxidized only by the Nitrobacter into nitrate. Okay, this is normally present in the soil. So just make note. The nitrifying bacteria, Nitrosomonas, trap the escaping ammonia. The nitrifying bacteria, Nitrosomonas, trap the escaping ammonia, convert into nitrite, The Nitrobacter the nitrobacter convert the nitrite or convert or oxidize, whichever may be. Convert the nitrite into nitrate. Convert the nitrite into nitrate, which is a usable form for the plant. Right? Now I will do a recap of it. See, in the air you have a dinitrogen, right? So stage 1, I told you, fixation, either by the atmospheric fixation or by the biological fixation or by the industrial fixation. You fix it in the soil. Fix it in the soil or probably in the plant. Okay, which is usable form. Directly air nitrogen we cannot use it, either the nitrate form or amino acids form, which can be used. Stage 2, biosynthesis. Now here the plant will take the usable form of nitrogen, maybe the nitrate form, convert into amino acids, and then given to all the trophic level. Stage 3, all the organism dies after some point of time. The decomposition happens. Stage 3. In that, they try to escape it as a ammonia. Okay, some also come as ammonium that will be taken by the plant. Stage 4, I told you, nitrifying bacteria. Here, the nitrosomonas trap the escaping ammonia, put that into nitrite, and the nitrobacter convert the nitrite into nitrate. Again, it can be taken by the plant. Now, whether the cycle is getting closed? No, the cycle is not closed. If this is going to happen, all the air nitrogen will be fixed in the soil. You will not see the 77% nitrogen. So that is the reason, in order to close a cycle, we have a 5th stage, denitrification. Denitrification. So here we have a bacteria called denitrifying bacteria. The one famous bacteria is Pseudomonas. 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 So what they do is, okay, you will have a soil nitrogen, right? In the soil only you have the nitrogen, whichever the nitrogen may be. The Pseudomonas will take the soil nitrogen, convert into air nitrogen, send it back to air. That's it. The cycle is getting closed. So they will be present separately in the soil. Most of the time, they are present in the wetland soils. In the wetland soil, now the soil nitrogen is taken by the Pseudomonas, convert into air nitrogen, send it back to the air. But in this process, sometime the soil nitrogen, the Pseudomonas may also convert into nitrous oxide, N2O. So it will send some as a nitrogen, direct air nitrogen. Some soil nitrogen will be converted into nitrous oxide. So what is this nitrous oxide? It's a strong greenhouse gas. In fact, that's a strong greenhouse gas. The highest amount of nitrous oxide in the atmosphere, which is responsible for the climate change, is given by the fertilizers. Because we are directly using fertilizer, the fertilizer drains in this wetland soil. That soil bacteria, nothing but Pseudomonas, convert into nitrous oxide and also convert into air nitrogen. The cycle is getting closed. See that? So this is a little complex cycle. So stage 1, stage 2, stage 1 is a fixation, stage 2 is a biosynthesis, stage 3 is a decomposition, stage 4 is a nitrification, stage 5 is a denitrification. Now you tell me, in the stages, in this entire cycle, is there is any way the nitrogen comes in or goes out? Have we missed anything? The nitrogen comes in or goes out. You all know it. Louder, louder. Is there is any other way the nitrogen comes in or goes out? We all know it. We all do it. Which one? What is that? In what way the nitrogen comes in? Is there any other way the nitrogen comes in or goes out? That's what we all know it. We all do it. Excretion. See what your kidney is doing. Whatever the protein you consume, it is pushes out through the excretion. So that's what all the plants and animal, they do excretion. Am I right? It comes out as the urea. Am I right? That excretion that goes to the soil and it becomes the nutrient to the soil. That's what when the small boy pee here and there, you should not mistake. They are doing ecosystem services. Am I right? Sometimes big boys also do that. So this is something, actually it's an excretion urea. See, normally when people have a, in diabetes, when people have a kidney problem, they do dialysis. Kidney, when they get a kidney problem, first the doctor, what he will say? Don't take protein, don't take pulses, don't take fish, don't take chicken, mutton, nothing. Don't take high protein content. Because when you take high protein content, your kidney will be overloaded. Am I right? And normally sometimes even people with people who go for gym and other thing, bodybuilding and all, sometimes they take a lot of this creatinine and sometimes they take a lot of whey proteins and all. So okay, you can take it, but you should not go beyond a point. Your kidney will be overloaded. Okay, so that's how your job of the kidney is to excrete. It's to push out that urea, excess urea, other thing. That is excretion. Okay, some way the excretion is adding your nitrogen to the soil. Fine. This is how the cycle is getting closed. Today, how do we disturb the cycle? This third one, industrial fixation. No, we are directly pumping fertilizer like anything. Now that fertilizer, when they drain in the wetland soil, in the denitrification, a lot of nitrous oxide goes and it increases the climate change. Second is more the fertilizer, when they go and drain in the water body, I told no harmful algae bloom, commensalism, that is getting created. Anyway, we will see it a little later, but this is the way the nitrogen cycle is getting disturbed. Fine, this is one cycle which is a very complex. The second one is, let's come to the next one, carbon cycle. Carbon cycle. Okay, can you tell me the reservoir of carbon? Where all carbon is present in this earth? Of course, in the air as a carbon dioxide, even in the water as a dissolved carbon dioxide, even in the soil carbon, in all organism. Our body is made up of carbon, am I right? 49% of our body dry weight is carbon. Apart from that, carbon is also found in the sedimentary. How? As a fossil fuels. Am I right? It is in the fossil fuels, carbonates, limestone. Okay, these are the places where carbon is getting fixated. Now fixated. Now we will have to see how this fixation process happens. So carbon cycle is completely very simple cycle. So let's go. So just make note. Stage 1, carbon fixation. Stage 1 is carbon fixation. Okay, can you tell me how the carbon is fixated? So again, it's a photosynthesis. See, it is air carbon dioxide. It is fixed by the plant through the photosynthesis. Of course, stage 2, simple biosynthesis. Now the plant, of course, it's a part of the photosynthesis. The plants take the carbon dioxide, convert into a carbohydrate molecule, carbohydrate chemical molecule. That the plant use it for its energy, and the plant due to all the trophic level. Am I right? The same point. Okay, stage 2 is biosynthesis. Stage 3, okay, the carbon has to come out. So we have taken carbohydrate, but it has to come out. So here, when the carbon, of course, has to come out, it's a decomposition process. But here the cycle takes a small twist. Now come to the stage 3. Stage 3, probably it may take 2 phases. That is, all the plant and animal, they die. When all the plant and animal, they die, when they decompose, of course, the carbon comes out. Probably the carbon comes to the soil as a soil carbon, or the carbon goes into the atmosphere as a carbon dioxide. But rather than when the dead plant and animal, okay, when the dead plant and animal, rather than getting decomposed, if it is buried under high temperature and high pressure, because of the tectonic plate movement and all, by chance, if the plants and animals are buried under the high temperature and pressure, all the plants, when they buried under the high temperature and pressure, it will get converted into coal, sedimentary. Okay, all the animal, when they buried under high temperature and pressure, it will be converted into oil and gas. And all the marine organism, when they buried under a high temperature and pressure, it will get converted into, like corals and all, limestone. That's what we get, a carbonates and sedimentary forms. We get a carbonates and sedimentary forms. Okay. Now whether the cycle is closed. Now just see. I hope you have noted it. Again, this cycle also starts from the air. The air carbon dioxide, stage 1, it is photosynthesis. Stage 2, it biosynthesis, convert into carbohydrate, and it is given to all the trophic level. Stage 3, when I told you, if it is buried, stage 3, when it is buried, of course, when it is decomposed, either it can enter into carbon dioxide or enter into soil as a soil carbon. Am I right? But rather than it is decomposed, it is buried under high temperature and high pressure, it will become a fossils. Now the cycle is not still closed. So stage 4, carbon adding to cycle. Carbon adding to cycle. Carbon adding to cycle. Can you tell me how the carbon is adding to cycle? Is there any other way? Sorry. Is there any other way the carbon dioxide is added to the air? We respire. Number 1. All organisms respire. So when they respire, carbon dioxide is added to the air. Okay, then any other way the carbon dioxide is added to the air? When you burn this, plants and animals, combustion, that time the carbon is added to the air. Third one is volcanic eruption. Volcanic eruption. Even in the volcanic eruption, the carbon dioxide is added to the air. So can you tell me how this volcanic eruption gives you carbon dioxide? How this volcanic eruption gives you carbon dioxide? So tell me how from an engine sulfur dioxide comes out. See, don't want to much confuse. Don't make your chemistry very complicated. When you burn sulfur, sulfur dioxide will come. When you burn carbon, carbon dioxide will come. When you burn nitrogen, nitrogen dioxide will come. See, nitrogen with in the high temperature mixed with the oxygen, it will come as a nitrogen dioxide. Carbon in the high temperature when mixed with the oxygen, it's carbon dioxide. Sulfur when mixed in the high temperature with oxygen, it comes as sulfur dioxide. That's all. You should burn sulfur, you should burn nitrogen, you should burn carbon. Now, in the volcanic eruption, limestones are burnt. See, without burning a carbon dioxide cannot come out. Limestones are there under the rock, that is getting burnt. That is the reason you get a lot of carbon dioxide. Fine. So this is the way the cycle is getting closed. So these are the two gaseous cycle. Now last one, we will see one sedimentary cycle, phosphorus cycle. Phosphorus cycle. So can you tell me the reservoirs of phosphorus? Yes, most of the phosphorus is in the rock. And of course, we also have in the soil, we have in the water, and all organism, we have a phosphorus. In our body, in the intercellular, even in the bone, even in the teeth, even in the muscles also, cells also, we'll have phosphorus. So phosphorus is a very important nutrient. Every day, we have to take certain quantity of phosphorus. Okay, now let's see the cycle in a little different way. Now, just make note, all the phosphorus, it is in the rock in the form of phosphate. Okay, all the phosphorus, it is in the rock in the form of phosphate. Now, this rock phosphate has to come out. How it can come out? Weathering. In the weathering, the phosphate will come out, okay, as a phosphorus. Now, that phosphorus will enter into soil and water. Okay, so that's, you can make note. In the weathering, it will come out as a phosphorus. The phosphorus will enter into soil and water. Then this is taken by the plant. The plant take it, the plant biosynthesize it, and it is given to, of course, I literally told you, all the phosphorus is given to all the trophic level. So if you want phosphorus, you have to take some green leaves and other thing, right? That is what the phosphorus will come to us. And then, yes, all the plant, now the phosphorus is in all the plant and animal. Of course, all the plant and animal should die. It is something called decomposition. The decomposition, again the phosphorus enters into the soil. That's all. Again, it comes back to the soil. Finished. Right? Okay, can you tell me what is the difference you find between the last two cycles and this cycle? It has never entered into air phase. See, from the rock, it comes to the soil, water, come to the plant, all the organism, and again it goes back to the soil. It never entered into air phase. This is what they asked in the UPSC. It will not come to the air phase. Fine. This is something we call a phosphorus cycle. See, hereafter, if you come across any cycle, the same logic. Now let's consolidate this pyramid, the ecosystem. So I hope you have taken this.